Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and thanks for tuning into this video. It's going to be a very long video, so grab something to drink, grab something to eat, and just listen in. Um, I haven't posted a video in roughly about a month. Most of that is due to that myself and my partner, um, we went to Europe for a 3 week vacation. I'm just now getting around to doing a recap, um, editing in some pictures, some videos, just overall just doing a whole on summary of the trip. Now, I'm wanting to do this. I'm trying to do it sooner than later, mostly just so I don't forget everything that I did on the trip, which is still gonna be very hard to do because it was a very memorable trip. If you haven't been to Europe, I would recommend grabbing your passport and saving up some money and get a backpack and going. It's a wonderful experience no matter where we go, no matter where you go. Um, so, wrote everything down here on this notebook. So, to start off our Europe trip, um, we left June 1st. We arrived at the airport, got through security, um, everything like that, checked in. We were actually flying first class, so what that means is we actually got to go into a lounge, like an airport lounge. And so the airport lounge where at our airport was like our gate was all the way over here, and then the airport lounge was all the way over here. So we did what everybody does when they get to the airport is they walk all the way down, make sure that their gate exists, their flight is still leaving, whole 9 yards, nothing needs to be checked in, whatever. And then we walk all the way down to the airport lounge because we're flying first class, and that was really nice because we got to check when we checked in there. We got free drinks, so any alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverage. There was a buffet with food, drinks, anything you can think of, really. Um, they had some games around, like they had like one of those like ski shuffleboard tables, a foosball table. They had TVs, typical lounge things, and then we got a call or a notification saying that there was an early check-in because the flight was so full that they didn't have enough stuff for carry-ons. And when we left going to Europe, we were only had backpacks. So I had like a hiking backpack. She had one of those like compartment backpacks that you can like fit a whole bunch of stuff into that worked for her. And those were our two carry-ons, and they were able to fit over the overhead bins. But when they said there was gonna be no space, we're like, okay. And so we checked our bags. It was free. And we waited like another hour or so before we actually left. Boarded first because first class. First class boarding. And then got to our seats. Now, for me personally, I was not let down, but I was expecting what everybody thinks of when they're flying first class is the big movie seats, the lay down beds, the big TVs, whole 9 yards. However, um, it was not that, which is totally fine still. Very honored and glad I had the privilege to fly first class for both me, myself, and my partner. Um, when the seats were large, it was good because I'm a big guy. I'm 6 feet. So seats were large. There was extra leg room. There were like these little foot pedals you could like put them on. Um, they gave us like a pillow, a really thick blanket. We got a free glass of champagne when we started. We got a meal. All our drinks that we wanted on board were free. So any alcoholic, non-alcoholic beverage were free. So that was nice. They gave us complimentary headphones, so we could watch movies on the flight. They even gave us a goodie bag, or toiletry bag, I should say. It had like socks, it had a postcard, toothbrush, toothpaste, earplugs, even like a sleep mask, which was nice. So we flew from our airport into Iceland. We were flying Iceland Air so from our airport to Iceland, it's about 8 hour flight. We had about 40-minute layover in Iceland. Um, so we left in the afternoon. We got there in Iceland. I guess technically in the morning, how it is there because of all the time change. So then we stopped at, like the little cafe. We picked up some food. Um, and this was like my first experience with like the different exchanges of currency. I was using my card. My credit card had like no international fee charge, which was nice. So I just used that for everything. Um, so the Iceland currency is a krona, and I think we bought like a sandwich, a bag of chips, a souvenir, and like a drink or something. And I don't remember how much it was, but like when I looked at like my statement like the next day, I was like, what did we spend $56 on in Iceland? So like we got like four breakfast things in Iceland that cost $56, and I was just like that. I was an insane exchange rate. Um, so then we fly out of Iceland, our first country. Um, let me make sure we didn't get anything. Yeah. So our first country, um, I guess technically would be Iceland, but it was just a layover. We didn't travel around Iceland, see anything cool. Was after our layover in Iceland, we got back onto the plane, still first class, very nice. They even served us breakfast. This plane was a little colder, so I kind of wish I had a blanket, but for some reason I think it was blankets this time. Probably could have asked, but I just kind of sucked it up. We flew from Iceland, 2 hour flight to London. We flew into central London, or around central London, wherever the airport is. And that was our first stop. So, London, I guess the United Kingdom, and then like the city of London, was our first stop. Right when we got there, we landed, walked through the airport. Very interesting to see how their airport was laid out. We had to walk forever just to get to our bags, and then we took the train. Um, Took our train to like multiple train stops, and this was kind of my first and even my partner's Keiondra, her first experience kind of with public transportation, as in like subways and like trains and everything, and it was very cool because like very intricate. Like whoever designed their infrastructure and like roadway like railways, it's amazing. Like I was very impressed. Like we from the airport, it was like a 40-minute train ride to like central London, and then we had to walk 10 minutes, get on another train, and then like that train took us 10 like within 5 minutes of our Airbnb. So, um, yeah. Let me take a drink of this real quick. I'll hold it. Okay, so we get to London. We get to our Airbnb. Now, we're there actually technically really early because we get there at like maybe in London time, maybe like 2 p.m. or so, and we weren't supposed to check in until like 3 or 4. So we messaged our host, and they said that we're luckily we were able to drop off all our like bags and everything, and so we drop off our bags. I think we changed clothes just briefly, just get out of like airport clothes, and then we get back on the same train that we just took, and then we train hop all over because it's like very very intricate, very easy to follow, which is nice. And then we go down to central London and we do a London Eye tour. So for those of you that don't know it, London Eye, it's a very big Ferris wheel, in central London. It's a counter lever Ferris wheel, meaning all the pods are on the outside, and it's only supported on one side. Like it's not dual supported. So like that was pretty cool. I think it has 32 or 33 pods. The whole ride itself takes like anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. So very interesting. We didn't go up the London Eye, but which is like the name of the tour guide was the London Eye. So the London Eye tour guide, it was like a bridge tour. So we got on like a little ferry gondola taxi boat thing, and we just drove up and down. It was the River of Thames, 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 and we just saw all the bridges and kind of nearby infrastructure nearby. So we saw Big Ben, we saw Parliament, we saw there was like obviously all the other bridges. Like there was the London Bridge, Tower Bridge, Oxford Bridge. There was a fancy place called Oxo, like the Oxo Hotel. Then that one had an interesting story behind it because technically, um, they weren't supposed to have their name branded on there, so they put stained glass windows in there that just so happened to have um, the shapes of OXO. And when they went to court, they're like, "You named your hotel that." We're like, "No, we just happened to randomly pick those three geometrically shaped glass tiles." And that was interesting. They had a big, tall skyscraper. I like to name them. So, like, this one was like a martini shaker, the bean, the nugget, something like that. Very, very cool. We were very amazed by all the infrastructure in London. After that, we go to a steakhouse for dinner, and again, very interesting to see the contrast between American and I know London isn't part of Europe, but like London and Europe, European culture when it comes to dining and like service. So that was very interesting to see. They took your order all at once, drinks, food, sometimes even dessert. But most of them they came back for dessert. Like if you waved them over and asked. But otherwise, yeah, they took your whole order all at once. And yeah, I think that night I got like a cosmopolitan for the first time. And I got a ribeye steak, well done. They cooked it perfectly the first time. I think that was probably my best steak I had the entire trip. And the portion sizings weren't like too massive or anything. Like we were both very full and we didn't feel overfilled or gluttonous or anything like the entire time. After that, we walk back to the train station, take the train back to the Airbnb, get settled in, shower, go to bed. Um, yeah, very interesting. Oh, another thing that we did is we did buy European adapters for all our chargers. However, London has since then changed their outlets. So we bought adapters for all of Europe, and we're like, oh great, this is fine. We got to London, and we're like, none of our adapters work. So we had to stop, buy an adapter, so then we could charge our phones. So that was interesting. And then the next day, let's see. Yes, the next day we did a walking tour around central London. Um, we saw the central London architecture. We started at the Ritz. Oh, sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. So that first day we arrived in London, beautiful, warm, sunny, like not too many clouds, not like a little slight breeze. It was nice. Then the next day, windy, gloomy, rainy, whole 9 yards. I leave. I think I'm in pants and a t-shirt. I think I had bought like a beanie, a stocking cap like the day before, and I was cold. So we spent the entire morning instead of getting like eating breakfast. We spent the entire morning looking for a jacket for me, and we find this one place that looks like it's like a suit fitting place, right? And like this place could be part of like the Kingsman, like that movie where it's like everything nice and fancy, tailor made suits. We go in there. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a jacket. They're like, they're in the back of the shop. So we go to the shop. We're looking at these jackets. For like an actual suit jacket was like 450 Great British pounds. I think like a flannel jacket, like just like a flannel long sleeve shirt, was 195 pounds. Um, give or take estimate of currency exchange, that's about $215, like US dollars, give or take. I said, nah, I'm okay. So then we left. We met at then I was like, I'll just brave it through the tour. So we go to our meeting spot. It's at the Ritz. No, we did not stay at the Ritz. Like as I said, we were at the Airbnb. So we go in front of the Ritz, and as we're going in front of the Ritz, I see like a souvenir shop, a souvenir stand. So I go up to it. I'm like, hey, do you guys have any hoodies? They're like, yes. I'm like, excellent. So I buy a hoodie. And then Keiondra, she buys herself a beanie. She already had a London sweatshirt from the day before because she likes sweatshirts. I was like, I'm not gonna wear sweatshirts that often. I'll probably wear t-shirts. So I bought t-shirts for most of the trip. So that was interesting. So I get my hoodie. She gets her beanie. We go meet our tour guide. Our tour guide, I don't remember his name, which is bad because he was such a great guy. Um, he's like, one thing about our tour group, we always start on time. And then we were there on time. But then progressively, more and more people just kept showing up late. And he was like, oh, you're supposed to be in this group. You're supposed to be in this group. Um, all the other groups left. I guess you'll just stay with me then. It was very actually embarrassing on them. We met, everybody introduced themselves in our group. We were the only people from, I think we were from America. I think there was like a group of sisters and a mom that was from like North or South Carolina. Then mostly everybody else is from like Australia, Canada, or somewhere from Europe. So we start at the Ritz. We go into, it's like Green Park, and we're walking through this park, and there's all these houses around. I should say mansions, but and and it's all owned by the government, and apparently the government will lease it to you, so it is rentable. But it's like a lifelong lease, right? So if I were to buy or rent an apartment or a townhouse there and that like near that park, the lease terms would be 99 years, right? So then once I die, it goes back to the government, and the government can sell it and lease it out again. So there were apartments there, but then there were also townhouses. Now the townhouses, from my eyes at least, they were mansions. Were they were huge. So like, you saw like the Lancaster house, there was the Chester house, the whole other houses. I have to look back at what I wrote down. Um, and then as we're walking through this park, we get to a part where it's like the gates leading up to Buckingham Palace. So there was like a south. There was like Africa Gate. There was a Canada Gate. There was an Australia Gate, um, and like an Asia Gate. All just all around, and very beautiful, very well made. In the middle of the square, there was a fountain and a statue of I think it's Queen Victoria. Um, Roman or Greece translation is to like Nike, and like Queen of like Goddess of Victory, I think is what it was translated to. And then as we're going through about that, we go and we take a little, not break, but like he's talking, and we're in front of one of the gates, and the king drives by. And so I will always say that I met the king while I was in London. So um, we he drove by. He was in a black cap with clear windows, which I thought was interesting because you see anybody of high status and political value here, they're in the complete opposite. They are, you know, black car, black SUV, tinted windows, Secret Service, X, Y, and Z. No, King, I don't know who the current king is, King Charles. He was in a black cab, one driver, and then in front and behind him there was like one like security car, like one in front, one in behind. So two security cars total, but apparently it's the king's duty to be seen by the people. And like the people want to see them, so there's no reason for him to hide. Apparently there are like secret tunnels and roads that can be taken if needed, but otherwise, he's supposed to be seen by the people. So he pulls up to Buckingham Palace, and Buckingham Palace is like his office essentially. Like he doesn't live there. But Buckingham Palace, there's like, I think our tour guide said there's 400 rooms, but surprisingly, there's only 70 bathrooms. And my first thought was that's an odd number of ratio. That's an odd ratio. Like you're telling me 400 bedrooms and only 70 bathrooms? Like that's insane. What's she doing? Oh, sorry. I'm looking at my cat. So I thought that was interesting. Learn facts. We see the guards. Apparently every 15, 30 minutes or so, they just walk back and forth. So we didn't exactly see the changing of like the standing guards. Then we walk through another park, take a rest break, continue our tour through central London. We get to another part where it's also like a government owned facility of like the royal family. And it's, again, saw two more guards. Every 15, 30 minutes, they just walk back and forth. Didn't see them changing. Then we continue walking. And we actually do see them changing in the guards. This is when like the guards are on the horses. And we just came at like the right time of the hour where the guards came up to the horse stall and the current horses came around and back into like where they needed to be. There's a white box around the horses that you had to stand out of just because it's a very stressful job and the horses, they're massive. You just don't want to get kicked by them. I can't imagine what it's like to be those guards or the horses, just constantly being looked at, not only by potentially British people, but by tourists, by other people. Like, imagine if someone came into your job, like if you're like a cashier at like King Supers, right? And someone just came and just stared at you all day. Like they're not there for audits or reports or a hidden undercover boss supervisor. Like they're just there to like just watch you. Like it's like they're like, man, like Alex, he's a great cashier. I just want to watch him all day. Like that's gonna be a highlight of my day. Like that's what it is to them. And like I don't like that. Be pressure on me would be insane. um, and then from there we walk all the way again more through central London. We get to in front of Big Ben in Parliament. Take a picture in front of Big Ben. And then that's about it. And then all of that took about 5 hours. We took a brief pause, and then our tour guide said, anybody who wants to continue can stay with me, or you're free to disperse at this time. So apparently we left, but apparently they were going to go for another like 3 hours touring London. And I think that's amazing. We just didn't want to get too far deep and like a longer journey back to our Airbnb. So we go get lunch. We were also starving because we've been walking for 5 hours and now it's the middle of the day. So we go get lunch. We go to like this tea shop. Food was excellent. Dessert was excellent. Bit pricey. I think that one was, yeah, it was like 100. I think our whole meal was like 100 like British pounds. So it was like $115 or something like that. And I looked at my statement the next day and I was like, what if we eat like for lunch? That was this expensive. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. But overall, delicious lunch. Since coming back, everybody always asks for pictures and videos of the food. And I'm really sorry to disappoint, But at least me personally, I'd have to check with Keiondra. But um, we were just so hungry all the time that are like just ready to eat all the time that we forgot to take pictures of a lot of the food. So everybody keeps asking for pictures of food. I'm like, I'd love to show you, but we ate it all before we ate it all. Then we're like, oh crap, we forgot to take a picture. Um, and then we get some more little souvenirs. Um, kind of walk back to places we want to like take pictures again, and then I think from there, what did we do from there? I don't know. I think we just walked around more. We walked across a bridge, walked more down central London, um, and then we're like, oh, let's go back to that first part we came out of from like the airport train, because there was a whole bunch of malls. Um, so we took trains back to there. We walked around there. We ended up buying a suitcase there because we had already bought souvenirs and our bags were already so full that we didn't have any room to put the new souvenirs. So we bought a suitcase to put all our stuff in. Um, then after that, I buy a watch, like just a new classic watch, which was nice. Um, I actually bought it with a silver wristband. And then later on, I ended up buying a gold piece of jewelry because I love gold more, I think. I'm not really a jewelry person, so don't ask me too much about it. Um, and then I'm like, oh crap, well, the silver conflicts with the gold and X, Y, and Z. So once I got back here, I was able to trade in the wristband. And I lost a little bit of like money from the currency exchange, or I technically paid more for it or whatever. But I was like, I'm not gonna put the employees through my own bad decisions. So I get a watch, and then we go to like this like media store, which is really cool. So they had like, um, it was interesting. They had like T-shirts and stuff too, but like the top part was like a movie theater room. So they had like every single like TV show, movie, genre of like physical media you could imagine. Like I could have bought like The Office, like all 9 seasons of The Office on DVDs, or like Supernatural, or anything like that. Um, I ended up not getting anything, but Keiondra did buy two of the, I forget what they're called, like those like two little like pop figurine action figures, from like a horror movie she really likes. And then after that, we conclude that's enough. I think we pick up some dinner, um, and then we head back to the Airbnb. We eat dinner in the room, shower, change, relax, and then I think that was our last day in London. So we were only there technically 2 days, 2.5 days. Next morning, wake up, head back to the train station, get to the train station, um, and those of you probably like I don't share enough about myself, but I love a good English breakfast. The times that I do eat breakfast here in America, um, and I have the time to make it and the resources available, I love an English breakfast. So I'll get, probably it's not a proper English breakfast until the one I just had, but the ones I've had before here are, I'll get like 2 to 4 slices of toast them, put them on a plate. Then I'll make like scrambled eggs, give or take maybe about anywhere from 3 to 4 eggs scrambled. Put that on top of the toast, and then I'll make baked beans. Put that on top of the eggs, and that is an English breakfast. Now I went there as we're leaving London to go to our next country. We get breakfast at this shop. They have an English breakfast there, and I'm like, it would be wrong if I did not have an authentic English breakfast. So I order it. It comes with, I did take a picture of this. It comes with a like 1 or 2 big slices of sourdough toast. It came with like 1 or 2 big like thick sausage links. Um, it had eggs. I think they were like over easy eggs, which is fine. And then instead of baked beans, they were called tomato beans, which did taste different, but overall, a bean's a bean. Tasted delicious. I ate all of it. Um, I think Keiondra got some form of French toast or pancake and some fruit. Um, and yeah, and then I think we buy like a bag of chips or something for like our train ride to our next country. So, oh, that's another thing. Since London is no longer a part of Europe, we actually had to go through like a mini TSA. So we go through, get our ticket when our train is ready. We go through the system. We put our bags in our suitcase, whatever, on the X-ray scanner, whole 9 yards. Show them our passports. We get stamped, which is cool. And then it's not like a big fancy stamp. It's like a little just rectangle stamp on a page. And the guy who did mine, instead of flipping to the first page, he put it like on like the 10th page of my book for some unknown reason, which was funny. And then we wait about like an hour or so until our train is ready, get up to our terminal, wait on the train platform, board the train. Um, yeah, overall, a great experience there in London. I think I'm just going to make these all separate videos, just so that way I'm not doing that. Plus, it gives you guys more content to watch. Um, so, yeah, if you want to see like all the pictures and videos and everything from this experience, go check out my Instagram. I'll have it linked down below. Also, I'll put it somewhere here on the screen so you can see it. But check out my Instagram for all my pictures, videos, everything from the trip. Um, yeah, thanks for listening. I hope I wasn't rambling or going off part too much, but yeah, thanks, guys. Bye.